On November 11th, Canadians pause in honor of the sacrifices made by their soldiers and veterans, a day of reflection, reverence, and unity. Remembrance Day, also known as Poppy Day, is a moment to look back at the courage of generations who served and to consider the legacy of peace they worked to secure. Today, we're delving into some little-known facts about Canada's Remembrance Day and why this day remains one of the most important commemorations in Canadian history. Remembrance Day has roots in one of the world's most devastating conflicts, World War I, originally called Armistice Day. It was first observed in 1919, just 1 year after the end of the First World War. The armistice that ended the fighting on November 11, 1918, at precisely the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, marked a new hope for peace in a war-torn world. This solemn day has since evolved to honor the sacrifices of all Canadian Armed Forces members who served in wars, conflicts, and peacekeeping missions worldwide. The powerful symbol of the red poppy comes from a poem written by Canadian physician Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae. McCrae served during World War I and wrote "In Flanders Fields" after witnessing the immense suffering and loss on the battlefield. His poignant words brought international attention to the red poppies that grew among soldiers' graves, turning the flower into a universal emblem of remembrance, resilience, and hope. In Canada, it's customary to wear the poppy on the left side, close to the heart, as a mark of respect. The poppy should also be removed after Remembrance Day and, if possible, placed at a cenotaph or memorial. A final gesture to honor those who have passed, one of the most solemn traditions associated with Remembrance Day is the 2 minutes of silence observed at 11 a.m. This act of collective silence began in 1919 and has remained a powerful tradition. It's a brief but profound pause to honor the fallen, an opportunity for reflection, and for many, a deeply personal moment, remembering family or friends who served. The 2 minutes have come to symbolize a bond across generations, a shared acknowledgement of the sacrifices that built Canada's present and continue to protect its future. In Ottawa, the National War Memorial stands as a focal point of Canada's largest Remembrance Day ceremony. Built initially to honor those who fought in World War I, the memorial now includes those who served in all of Canada's military missions. Each year, veterans, current service members, government officials, and citizens gather here to pay their respects, placing poppies on the memorial as a symbol of gratitude and unity. It's an event that brings together Canadians of all backgrounds in a shared experience of remembrance. Canada places a strong emphasis on educating its youth about the importance of Remembrance Day. Schools across the country hold assemblies, teach students about Canada's military history, and invite veterans to speak about their experiences. The Royal Canadian Legion also organizes poster, poetry, and essay contests for students, inspiring them to think deeply about the meaning of remembrance and the cost of freedom. This involvement ensures that the memory of the sacrifices made remains alive in the minds of future generations. Many young Canadians visit local memorials with their families or schools to leave poppies or notes of gratitude, creating a powerful bridge between generations that reinforces the importance of this day. Beyond the symbolic meaning, the poppy has a practical purpose through the Poppy Fund. Each year, millions of Canadians donate to the Royal Canadian Legion in exchange for a poppy. These funds go toward vital support services for veterans and their families, including housing assistance, medical needs, and mental health support. For many veterans, the Poppy Fund is a lifeline that connects them with the support and resources they need after their service. Canada has a long-standing reputation as a peacekeeping nation. Canadian Armed Forces members have played critical roles in peacekeeping missions around the world, from Cyprus to Rwanda. On Remembrance Day, Canadians not only remember the sacrifices made in war, but also honor those who serve in these peacekeeping missions, promoting stability and peace in some of the world's most challenging regions. This commitment to peace is part of Canada's identity and an important aspect of the Remembrance Day tradition. In recent years, Remembrance Day has embraced new ways of honoring the past. From virtual ceremonies to live broadcasts for those who can't attend in person. Across Canada, community centers, churches, and schools host their own ceremonies, making it one of the few commemorations that's observed nationwide. Even the Canadian Parliament observes the day with members pausing to honor military service and sacrifices. Additional fact: unlike some other holidays, Remembrance Day is still a working day in certain provinces, while in others, like Alberta and Nova Scotia, it is a statutory holiday. Regardless, Canadians everywhere pause for the 2 minutes of silence in solidarity. Though red poppies are the most recognizable symbol of Remembrance Day, white poppies are also worn by some Canadians. Introduced as a symbol of peace, the white poppy represents a commitment to the prevention of future wars and honors all victims of conflict, including civilians. While not as widely recognized, it offers an additional layer of meaning to those who wish to reflect on peace and remembrance together. Canada's Remembrance Day is more than just a date on the calendar. It's a heartfelt commitment to honor the courage, resilience, and selflessness of those who serve. Whether by attending a ceremony, observing a moment of silence, or simply wearing a poppy, every Canadian can play a part in carrying the legacy of remembrance forward. As we pause on November 11th, let's hold close the memories of those who sacrificed for our freedom and the peace we cherish today.